Morning. Hope you're having a good morning. Hope you're having a good start to your day. Hope you're having a good middle of the week. Today's hump day for those of you who work a regular work week. I don't even know what that would look like. Anyway, but anyway, this is a middle of the week, almost the end of the year. It's only 11 days left in this year, and I've got a lot of miles to cover to get all my little badges I want on my activity app. So I don't know if I'm going to make my goals, but I'm going to give it a shot. So anyway, I hope you're having a good day. I do. I hope you have some good plans for Christmas. I actually have some plans, which is unusual because I don't usually. I plan on staying in though for the next 2 days because most of the middle of the U.S. here is fixing to get hit. Fixing to, that's a good Southern term. It's going to get hit with some cold, cold, cold stuff. So today is the day to hunker down. I'm going to spend this evening bringing in my wood so I don't even have to go outside to get it for my fireplace and covering all my windows and I'll live in a cave for a couple of days and then we'll emerge and it'll be Christmas. So it'll be like a Christmas miracle, right? I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I do. I got lots and lots, like you do. I have lots and lots on my mind. I have so many things that I'm tending to, and then the holidays, and sometimes that's what I dislike about the holidays is life is so busy, and then we got to add the holidays. There's one more thing to do, right? And sometimes it can just seem overwhelming. And this time of year, a lot of people, their sense of loneliness is heightened. Their sense of maybe if they have family that they're not no longer connected with, or they've lost loved ones recently, or ever. It's just it can be a beautiful time of year, and it can be a really hard time of year, right? And so I was kind of weighing those things back and forth in my mind, and I've got some plans, which I didn't know that we actually just made the plans last night finally. So I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. So I'm hoping the weather does a little better than what the forecast is, or we may not get to go. We'll see how everything lines up in the next few days. But I was sorting through all of that. I was sorting through my work things. I was sorting through decisions I've made recently and need to make again, and how to manage even today. Today's a lot for me. I've got a lot going on just today. And so I was weighing all that out. And I just took a deep breath and I went, you know what? Let's just put that all over here for a second and let's just read the Bible for a minute. So I got my first cup of coffee and I sat down and I opened my Bible to Psalm 66, and it says this: Make a joyful shout to God, all the earth. Now, we could say all the earth, or we can say all the earth. All of us are made of earth, right? Sing out the honor of his name. Make his praise glorious. Say to God, how awesome are your works! Through the greatness of your power, your enemies will submit themselves to you. All the earth shall worship you and sing praises to you. They shall sing praises to your name. And so I stopped right there. No, I'll read the rest of the psalm later. But he was talking about the works of God. But I stopped there because I found some things to meditate on just in those 4 verses. My first thing was just honoring God in everything we do, whether we celebrate the holidays, whether we don't, whether we celebrate them alone, whether we celebrate with family, however, even laying the holidays aside, just celebrating God and just singing to him and thinking. And I stopped. The first thing that stood out was in verse 3. It says, how awesome are your works. And I just thought about that for a minute, and I thought, God, we've talked about this so much, and I love the creation. I need to just do a little Bible study on the creation passages in the Bible because there's so many different ones. Yeah, I love in Job when God describes creation. There's the one written by Moses, Genesis 1, and there's there's a couple in Isaiah, and there's just all throughout, there's all these different scriptures about creation. I just love the creation story, and we've talked about how the plants we see, I'm looking at them out my window. The plants we see, the trees outside my window, the across the road there, even the grass, all came from that same day when he made them in Genesis 1. There's not new plants. He didn't come back and go, oh, yeah, I destroyed all those and let me make some more. No, they're all the same, even through a flood, even through all the years, even through us tearing up the earth, all of that. All the plants we see came from that day when he created the plants in Genesis chapter 1. How awesome are his works. But then there's more. Even more than, I can connect with him as my creator, and that's a wonderful thing because he chose for me to happen. He chose for me to exist. He chose for you to exist. He could have said, skip that one, right? Because some people do that to me. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, so to speak. And so he could have said, skip that one, or can we skip these 10 years in here? Because this is just kind of crazy. But he didn't. He chose for us to be part of his creation. He chose for us to be part of time. He chose for us to be part of the story. And we just got to live out our part of the story, right? And I just think how awesome are his works. And in the middle of all of that, we see this thread of grace throughout the whole scriptures. We just see the thread of his grace in our lives. We all have a story. We all have losses. We all have gains. We all have really hard things we've been through. We all have really good things we've been through. And they make up the story of our lives. But in the middle of all of that, we can come back to his grace and go, how awesome are your works? We can come back to his peace and go, wow, how awesome are your works? How awesome are the things you're doing in my life right now? And we can rejoice in every little victory, and we can rejoice in every instance where we don't always see that thread of grace unless we look for it. Sometimes we got to look for it. God, where is your grace? And sometimes in those dark, hard nights when things aren't going our way, we're like, where is your grace? Where is your peace? Where is your love? Oh, great, you're up there watching, but I don't see you working. And we work through those things, and when we look for his grace, we will find it. How marvelous are your works, O God, in my life, not just creation. See, so that's the other thing we can tend to do is say, how awesome are your works? Oh, yeah, they're great. Oh, you created everything. You helped Noah. You helped Abraham. You helped Joseph. You helped Daniel. But we can also say he helps me right here in whatever's going on. How awesome are his works here. Today he didn't stop. There wasn't a day well, he kind of did. He created 6 days and then he rested and he's still on that rest, and we got to figure out how to enter that rest, right? Enter that rest with him. So, but he's still working. His grace that he put into action is still in action today. His love is still an overwhelming, you can't quench it type of love. His peace is still on earth. When the angels sang peace on earth, yeah, peace was on earth. The king of peace, the prince of peace was on earth, and he's still on earth, and he's still in us. How marvelous are his works on those days where, and I'll just speak for myself here, but there's those days where I just have everything, I'm overwhelmed, and all of a sudden I just have that his peace. I just know it's all going to be okay, no matter how we got to work through stuff. His peace, how marvelous are his works when his grace is still operating in our lives. How marvelous are his works when we have that peace. How marvelous are his works when we realize he still loves us right here, right now, no matter what we're dealing with, no matter what we're going through, no matter how difficult it is, how good it is, anything in between. He's still working on us. He's still working with us. He's still working through us. His attention is still toward us. How marvelous are his works. And then the last thing I thought of, almost done. It says, the whole earth shall worship you and sing praises to you. They will sing praises to your name. And I want to join that song that started at creation and that's been building as it, all these years and decades and centuries. What's beyond centuries? I don't even know. But what's been the song that's been building up to this huge crescendo that'll be at the end of time when we're all singing God's glory and time is no more, right? All the earth will sing praises. And I thought, you know what? As much as I really don't like the Christmas holidays, I don't like the commercialism. I'm not against Christmas. Don't put something crazy on my. but it just gets so crazy, and we're trying to do all these extra things. And why don't we just do extra things for other people all year long? Yeah. So I got all these things, but as this time of year, more than any other time of year, maybe very unlike any other time of year, people are actually singing peace on earth. They actually go to church and sing, and they enter into worship for, if it's just once a year, maybe twice, Easter and Christmas. People are focused on Christ even if it's for a minute. There's more people focused on the meaning of Christmas, the whole concept, the whole truth that Jesus came as a baby, and he couldn't have died for us had he not come. And so it was just what we would call the beginning It actually started before God said, "Let there be light." But what we would call the beginning of his rescuing us, the beginning of the redemption story of how he was going to make it easy for us to get back to God. He wanted to make sure we could get back to God. God said, "You're going to break it. Let me fix it before it's broken." Jesus, you got to go. You got to go get the rest of my people. And he did. And that was the beginning, was his entry into time, his entry into our world. And he lived it, he walked it for 33 years, and it was the beginning. And so, for like no other time of year, people are singing "Glory to God in the highest." Just think about our Christmas song, "Hark the Herald Angels Sing," and so we've got more people singing about God's glory and his work and his love than any other time of year, right? So we can embrace that and go, "That's awesome." Can we just do it longer? Can we just carry it past? Why do we stop on Christmas Day? Because Jesus came on Christmas Day, but that was just the very beginning of the story. We celebrate him coming, and I know he wasn't really born this time of year and all that stuff. However you want to feel, I don't even care. but, but we celebrate that he came for us. He came, and that was that thread of grace. As he came to earth, grace personified, mercy personified, and he took all that was broken and made it right, and made it our access to the Father as easy as saying, "Hey, God, it's that easy. It really is that easy. Just, hey, God." And God's like, "Yeah, it's that easy to access God. Just, hey, God, are you there? Hey, God, do you have me? Show me your ways. Let me experience your love. Let me experience your grace." Look for that thread of grace today in your life. Think about your life and think of the thread of grace. If you can't find it, just shoot me a message. We'll talk about it. I'll help you find it, right? Because it's there. There's always that thread of grace. You're never outside of God's reach. And that's something to sing his praises about today. His love won't wane. His peace didn't go away. We still have peace, is still on earth, and it's in us. So embrace him today. Love him today. Have a great day. Plan your Christmas, but don't plan it without Christ. You would just have moss, right? Christmas, moss, or Christ filled days. Let's don't plan it without him, right? Have a great day, you guys. Peace out, and I'll see you tomorrow.